Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Good, so. Okay. That's good. That's good.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm very good. Anyway, also we have very good weekends last few weeks. We have a lot of visitor monks here. We are Rinpoche coming here, Rinpoche, then also a lot of good things happen here. And everybody enjoy. Also, all of them happens. We all work together. Physically, mentally, financially, every work together. Then we can do many good things, right? They work. It's not just one person. It's all we do. This is also we help benefit for others. Sometimes people, benefit for others means just maybe you go to, maybe give some food or maybe, do something, not like that, Best help is to people have to, some discussion about Dharma, about positive action, about negative actions. Therefore, Rinpoche mentioned many times we have some community, then all people have some, some refuge. He said, oh, I have something. If something good things happen, they can come here. They say, talk, oh, I have to happen. If there's a bad thing happen, oh, I have this happen, then what to do, Then you don't have the community, then, just maybe you stay there, maybe you call someone, Therefore, really important community, that's, all of we work together, then this happen. Therefore, I would like to say all of you for thank you for everybody work together. Then it's very great. Then we did lots benefit for this weekend, also this summer. Then anyway, are you guys hot? It's okay? Temperature okay? Do you need a fan or AC? Maybe put fan. It's a little loud. Maybe you can a little bit loud to microphone. Otherwise, you put AC, then all the AC go outside. Okay? No, it is good, yeah. And if you guys need, Are you in AC?
No,
it's a fan, right? Yeah, put the fan, okay? Then we a little bit madness for AC, for madness for electricity, It's true?
Yes.
They use more electricity, right? Good. Okay, good. The all AC, all fan?
Fan.
Good. Then anyway, we all study Buddhism or practice Buddhism. Its purpose is to happy life, right? How we do happy life, enjoy life. Just forget previous life and future life, just this life. We need to comfortable life, The many things we really create the karma, then we meet the condition, the result become that. We cannot do anything. But many things we just create. Therefore, Buddhism, I mention, Buddhism is Tibetan called Ngawang. Ngawang, what means inside? change the inside. Investigation to inside, not outside. Right? The teaching and the spirit say, subdue your mind. This is the teaching of the Buddha. Did I say correct? Yeah. Oh, thank you. Therefore, subdue your mind means, if you wish to be happy, you have to check your mind. You know, we follow our mind follow the ignorance, then we always stuck there. Therefore, you know, very important to check our mind. What I'm thinking, what I'm doing. If you do something, did I do it right way, wrong way? You know, yesterday I had dinner, some Russia family. Then one India guy, he said he have to sorry his wife every evening after he come back home. Then he said, if whatever he did wrong that day, he have to say sorry his wife. You know, that's good, you know. For we, whatever we do in the daytime, the evening before go bed, just check. Did I did good or bad? Did I get angry today? Did I get jealous today? If you did, then you say, sorry, I'm not doing again tomorrow. Then if you do good, then you enjoy. Then try to next day again. Try to next day again. Also, when you have some problem, you know, everybody has some problem, big problem, small problem, right? I don't think we, you know, maybe, you know, you are very some, like that also we have some of the birthday party, like party, you know, everybody looks very fancy. But when we start talking, then everybody has some problems, you know. Therefore, we have small problem, big problem. Then your problem, then also don't think about too much there, okay? If you have something going wrong, don't think that too much. Why did this happen? What can I do? Why? Maybe he did, maybe she did, maybe they did. Don't think that, okay? If you think more, then you get more reasons. Then you become more angry, more unhappy. Just try to switch it off, maybe switch on some other things. You know, this is a very important, you know. Sometimes, you know, when kids have some, you know, they do something wrong problem, then the parents try to make their mind change, right? Some different toys. Like that, you know. We also very important. Example, you get angry with someone today. Or your husband or wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, co-worker, you get angry. If something, you know, unhappy things happen. Then you know, meditation to why they say that. Then you get reasons. Oh, maybe he or she doesn't like me. Oh, they want to harm me. They want to do something for me. Then you get more reasons you get. Then you get more angry. Therefore, next time don't do that, okay? If you have something happen, you know, it's try to fix it. It's not just don't think too much. You know, Shantideva said, it is fixable, nothing to worry. It is nothing fixed, nothing to worry. If you worry or not, doesn't matter, it's not fixed. But we know that, right? But we doesn't do that. I think you must have very good education about Buddhism. You already know a lot of things, but including me, we doesn't do. There's a problem. Therefore, we cannot do too many things. Just try to every day, little bit, okay? When you study, you know, Buddhism says, first study is very important. First you know, then you do. Therefore, also don't, okay, I'm studying maybe 2 years, then I'm studying, I'm practicing. Not like that, okay? If you study, you know something today, try to do today. If you learn something 2 words, then high karo. Suzu. sudu nyamle de jasana karo. Apply. Whatever you learn something, apply. How can I apply? Apply to practice. For monks, you know, they debate a lot of times, you know, West. We call Pumba. You know Pumba, West? We say, is West impermanent or not? We have a lot of debates, of month debate. Then we say, what's our business? Is West impermanent or permanent? What's purpose? How you practice that? What do you think? We say, yeah, this cup is permanent. It's what matters for us. What do you think? It's permanent or not permanent? What matters for us? You know, we can. This is the example, right? Because the cup is impermanent, same is all. We also impermanent. Therefore, this, if I do love here, maybe the drop here, it will be broken, right? Therefore, same as our, you know, our life or soul, they're holding the wind. The wind has power lost to holding the soul. Soul. The wind holding the soul, life. The wind has lost the power, then there's a die. Understand? Die is very easy. When you, what's that? In or out. When you breathe in, then not come back, then die. Then we out, then not come back, then die. You know, it's not too far away. Therefore, doesn't matter you young, healthy, old, it doesn't matter. When the times come in, now we have to, Buddhism said that, Buddhism said that. We say, okay, the Buddhism said that. We have to accept, not like that. It's true or not. We have to check. We can see many things, right? People, older people die first, younger people die first. You know, this year very healthy, next year they die. Therefore, anyway, the purpose to monks debate about West, Pamba, pot. This is the example that pot is impermanent, same as example. Therefore, impermanent is changeable, very unique change, easily, nothing to stay, however. Therefore, when you study Dharma, Kadamba Master said, you study Dharma, practice when? Next year? Maybe after I'm retirement? Not today, now. Because we don't know when we go to see our, maybe no die, we say. Go to another business, another land. Therefore, we don't know when we go die, when it happen. Then try to peaceful, happy life, okay? Don't think about always stressed. Our mind, especially this country, the people have to be happy to stress. Just relax. Okay? The relax, the outside doesn't work. You have to start inside. Okay? This makes sense? Oh, thank you. Good. Then, okay. Then we says, Sanji Chumdendegi, Chularwa. Ani, Tanyamlicha, Karrior, Ani, Tobe shoes, the long shoes, and you.
So the teachings of the Buddha that are to be practiced are the realized teachings and scriptural teachings.
And Tobe Chu, the long shoes, the countries, and the country, not a conjure, and a chukan said.
So these are the Dharma jewels. So the scriptural teaching and the realized teachings are Dharma jewels.
shamdo chego was ta shamdo jene and sanjing also kandidi chogodo. Kandidi pen togodo. Tengazo some down.
So the Dharma jewel of the three jewels, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, so that Dharma we're talking about here. So you take refuge in the three jewels, right? The Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, in order to be protected, from the sufferings of the lower realms, especially, and all the sufferings in cycle existence. And so now we have to analyze how these three jewels.
And sanjing so much is and engage tobe in the channel trio mare son yores. And Chanaji Dungating it Semaleva Nachin, Shajtan Pakino yo mare son and the Tulutu Nachin it trio marsonores. And then each of the Roba Kajina, nature also like Gedig Landro Shincho Maloba, Machine, Chanazo Yamin Chene, Tajanazo Sandiego, resonores.
So Buddha has said that he cannot take away our sufferings. He cannot wash our negativities like we wash our clothes, and he cannot remove sufferings from us like we remove thorn from our hand or any part of our body. And there is no way he can transfer his realizations into our mind. And so the only way he can benefit is by showing the path, to liberation, the path that explains, what is to be abandoned and what is to be cultivated.
It's true? Yes, no. Pechachana, Bananganzo, Chosutan, Tolop, Lapa Chimodoro, Gering Anzo Kanjilo, Gere Koraka, Kayo, Andola, Trio Maros. Kajana, Koranga Kan, Lojo Cheva, Andola Pal, Lamne, Mandu Jang, Palacheto.
So it's the same as in the schools or colleges where you go to study. When the teacher teaches, there's no way you can get all the knowledge just by the teacher teaching. And the teacher can only teach, to know it, you have to study yourself, right?
Can teach us a hard drive? Can we put our hard drive, right?
Hard drive.
Hard drive.
Memory.
The memory. Teacher has a maybe 30 gigabyte. Then he can transfer us? No, right? Whatever he study, whatever he learn, he teach for us. Technology, business, science, anything. Then we learn that. Then we can do also like that. Same is exactly Buddha's teaching. What we call Buddha, the Sanji Langamsota, Chaptembo, all of it. Then Sanji Lamka Chasama, Tenshorda, do Yareda, did do Reda, Chundus Chair Madame of the Lapshires.
And so, therefore, the Buddha is called the founder of the refuge, or the teacher, who has taught everything what is to be cultivated and what is to be abandoned. So he has taught this is good, this is bad, you should not do this, you should do this, and so forth.
And Amjude, Nasa the Hakuni was. What then did Nasa into that? Chana Nasa there do that, Churan del do that, and Taku Musam was.
So just like when we are sick, it is the doctor who identifies or who diagnoses the disease, right? Saying, oh, you have this kind of disease, that kind of single-pointedly on object, right, without any distraction. So of course, there's a different level of concentration. So some very low, which you can concentrate for a little while, but can't stay for a long time on that object, and you can still call that concentration in a small one. And so it is very important to have that. Without that, we will not be able to develop any kind of realization. So having that is very important. So honestly speaking, are you all concentrated on the teaching here, or you are thinking about what are you going to do tomorrow, or what you did yesterday?
After teaching, I have to take my kids to school, or maybe go to some. We have to plan to dinner, right? Maybe our bodies here, the body, minds go to all of the world. Therefore, we have to bring our minds. Just this house, he said. Okay? Then he showed us, 다 내로 야보도 가래, 야보 많이 받아 가래. 대처럼 세워 똥에 학교에다가 혈압 되고 오래 왔어.
And then the wisdom, right? The third one is the training of wisdom. The wisdom is what is good and what is bad, right? So knowing that, it's called the discrimination, right? So able to discriminate what is good and what is bad. So that mind is very important as well. So this we can practice, right? We can practice these trainings. And so like I said earlier, we're all same in wanting to be happy and not wanting any suffering. So just like I want to be happy, others wish to be happy also. So just like I want to make myself happy, I should also wish others to be happy. And so says, may all sentient beings be happy. How wonderful it will be if they are all very happy. And then after having that thought for some time, when you are used to that, then you have to develop that mind. Oh, okay, now I'm going to take the responsibility upon myself to make them all happy. I'm going to do, and I'm going to be the one to make them all happy. And so the love you have, right, wishing them, and then when you take that responsibility upon yourself, that's called the superior mind, superior love, and then with that, then you have this mind wanting them to be free, or wanting oneself to be free from all these sufferings, and so that mind has to be there all the time. So by understanding how this whole cycle existence is in the nature of suffering. So when you're in the prison, you always think about getting out of the prison all the time. Day and night, you're thinking of getting out of the prison. So just like that, you have to have this thought of wanting to be free from cycle existence throughout day and night. So when you develop that thought spontaneously, effortlessly, throughout day and night, when you have that mind all the time wanting, that's what we call the renunciation. So renunciation is generated at the same time when you enter the first path. Like earlier we talked about the 5 paths, path of accumulation. The first path is when you enter only after having the genuine renunciation, which is the mind wanting to be free from cycle existence throughout day and night. So just like Lama Tsongkhapa said, when you have developed a mind wishing to be free throughout day and night, that's the time when you have generated the genuine renunciation. Do you have that? A prisoner always have a thought wanting to be free from prison all the time, does he? If someone is in the prison, always thinking about getting out of prison? So like a mother who is thinking about a child, like especially the infant, right? 1 year, 2 years old, or even before that, the infant from the time born until like 2 years, maybe 3 years, and always thinking about the child. Even when she's sleeping, even in the sleep, she's thinking about a child. That's why mother can wake up very easily when something happens to a child. Like even if the child moves a little bit, the mother wakes up because she's in her mind, she has that all the time. So and also like when the child has already finished eating and the child is playing in the other room, and the mother eating herself eating the food, and even at that time she's thinking about the child. So that's why when the child, something happens to the child, she hears immediately. So those of you who have been mother, you have the experience, you know it, right? I don't have experience because I haven't been a mother. I'm saying just from what I have learned from the text.
Right? I'm not mother this life. I was mother previous time, but therefore, not like that. And the tongue on court and song doing the little tanamato, some church in the middle of below. Attending army, which is a londo, and somebody Tsongkhapa londo, 10 hours Chetavana, that your lamb should come out somebody. So
that is the kind of mind you have to develop, right? Kind of mind that a prisoner have, wanting to be free from the prison. So just like that, if we have this thought of wanting to be free from the cycle existence, of course we have to see the cycle existence as being in the nature of suffering. So no matter where you do, where you go, whatever you are, in cycle existence is all suffering. When you have seen that, then you will have that wish, right? That thought wanting to be free from cycle existence. When you have that thought throughout day and night, then that's when you have generated the renunciation, and that's when you enter the first path. And so that's when you start, right? So when, I call it five paths, but actually it's a one path with 5 different levels. So path of accumulation, then after that path of preparation, and then the path of seeing. So it's not like 5 different paths when you go on different ways. It's not like that, It's one after another, like that. And so anyway, so without developing the renunciation, you cannot enter into the path, right? Without developing renunciation, there's no way you can gain any realizations, of liberation, enlightenment, and all these things. So even if you practice tantra and all so forth, you will not be able to have those realizations. So just like Lama Tsongkhapa said, and the foundation of all good qualities, having become a pure vessel by training in the general path. Please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. So in order to enter into the supreme Vajra vehicle, you have to have trained in the general path. And so through training in the general path, then you become a suitable vessel to enter into the supreme Vajra vehicle. So this renunciation is is one of the general path which you have to proceed before entering into the supreme vehicle. So have any of you generated renunciation? To think about that now.
Maybe I hope so. Maybe next year. You have something different feelings? Or the
and then when that renunciation is associated with the bodhicitta, a mind wanting to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings, then you become a bodhisattva. Then you have entered into the Mahayana path.
어떻게 나도 샹주선에 차 열다 차 열어 was.
So we can become bodhisattva if we have developed those paths, right?
샹주 선바세 그 체주 그 또베 인도한테는 간다더라 샹주 선바세 랍샤버와.
So bodhisattva is someone who has those qualities that I just described, right? So someone with those qualities is called bodhisattva.
그래와 부모들은 뭐 가지잖아 나도 아마스 랍거 was. 부모에 비해서는 아마 다샤버와.
And so when the girl or female, give birth, to a child, when a female gives birth to a child, then she becomes mother, right? Before that, she's not a mother.
Right. 나도 아마스한테 로치주께서 말어와.
So mother is nothing to do with the age, right?
Father said 로치주께서 말어와.
Same with the father.
Right? If he said only mother, maybe father said, why? How about me? Therefore, the mind of bodhicitta, the person of bodhisattva means the quality of the mind, bodhicitta, that kind of person we say bodhisattva. Musical logic middle doctor was.
So just like someone you call doctor, depending on his qualities, right? His degrees.
Oh, then is that Kanza teaches the same unity chani. And
so, depending on their realizations and qualities, then we designate them as someone on the path of accumulation or someone on the path of preparation and like that.
Okay?
So if we practice these thoughts, if we develop these thoughts, then we can become bodhisattvas. So it all depends on us whether we practice or not.
말람이 딱 개처럼 가와가와로 하고 나야 요래서 그래서 개비 팬도 지금 아무 시바나 빼면서 something much about the
So there are all these advantages or the benefits of practicing Dharma, right? So you can achieve liberation, enlightenment, and so forth. So anyway, talking about the benefits of the Dharma. So even if you do small Dharma practice, there's a lot of benefits, right? So you might have heard story about an insect circumambulating stupa accidentally caused him to become monk and become enlightened very lifetime during the time of the Buddha, right? So those kind of benefits. So anyway, there was a joke, or actually it's a real thing, but sounds like a joke. When the teacher was explaining about, you have to practice Dharma, and there's such and such benefits, such a benefit for everything you do. So when you think about those benefits of even doing a small practice, you feel like you're on a quite realized person, right? But when you talk about the negative actions that we create all the time, because of the delusions, because of all these different kind of mind, the negative minds that we have, and when we think about that, then we are creating negative karma all the time. Then it's very certain for us to fall into the lower realm. And so that's why this disciple, was saying that, teacher, when you explain about the benefits, I think even I feel like I'm quite a realized person. But then when you explain about the disadvantage, of the negative karma, and how easily you can create negative karma and how easily you can fall into the lower realm, and let alone me, I think you are also not very sure to not fall into the lower realm, like that.
근데 다 개비 팬에서 썸니 맞지 않는데 저도 나는 내용 강의 가서 그만 주셔야 당복 공부 나라 맞으면 내가 야 그게 못하는 밤에 최대도 공부를 꼬라 직접 아니 나 준수 바로 가라야 꼬라 직접다 그 썸니 맞지 와서 그래.
So talking about the benefits of the Dharma, right? Benefits of practicing the Dharma, like benefits of circumambulating a stupa and so forth. Like just briefly, I told you about the story of the insect, having gone through the stupa accidentally, not even intentionally, accidentally, right? And that caused him to become a monk and then become liberated in that lifetime. Also, so of course, if there's such benefit in even doing that without knowing, without unintentionally, then how much benefit is there if you do it intentionally, right? So therefore, Geshe say he would like to advise you to, like, go around the stupa and the center, the temple, right? Go circumambulate the temple. After you get out of your car, circumambulate and then get in the car. When you leave, go around again one more time, circumambulate, and then go out. So just like intentionally doing that, you create so much merit, so much imprint, positive imprint left in your mind, and to be able to continue with the Dharma practice in the future. And so all these holy places, we call it holy place, and we go on pilgrimage, to these holy places, right? So the reason why this is a holy place is because holy beings has been there, or the holy beings have been there, and they have stepped their foot on that place, and they have lived there, they have taught there, so that's why that place is called holy place.
And lache mambo family shinab nasha yore then ngado naba mainge ishi da kashi da judo tendu lache na family ta chonom sera then nasha then ta pe muzbe sacha de ta chimbu cha de.
So in this place, this temple, has been visited by all the great teachers, like His Holiness the Lama, and all the great teachers of the 4 different traditions of Tibetan Buddhism. And also from the different religions, like from the Christianity, Islam, Hindu, and so forth. So all these different teachers have come and placed their foot on this place. And so this place is really holy in that sense.
근데 여자 삼성한도 라세김 좋은 자세요. 그래서 소소 여자 되는 같이 뭐처럼 맞죠. 다른 뭐를 따되나? 근데 노래요.
And so there's a famous temple in Tibet called Jokang Temple, and then in there's a very sacred statue of Buddha Shakyamuni. So people come from very, very far away to see the statue, to get the blessing. But people who live in the Lhasa don't bother to go to see, So you might become like that.
Right? And this is a very opportunity, very great place. A lot of things good happen. There are a lot of good influence. Therefore, don't be lazy, okay? If the maybe weather's bad, then it's okay. But it's possible, just do one circumambulation, 2, 3, a lot. The Sutupa, we have a lot of different, holy objects inside that. Therefore, very holy things. When our mind a little bit change, this is a blessing of the Buddhas, the sadhus, teachers, okay? Blessing means change your mind. They're true, okay? Bad blessing, good blessing, both, okay? When you thought, today I'm going to the center, this is a blessing. Then you say, today I'm going to study Dharma. This is a blessing, good blessing. Otherwise, blessing is something maybe, put your head some mala or some text or maybe some water. It's not. So
that's not the blessing. That's just the substance, for blessing, right? Substance for blessing. Those the text, the water, or the malas and the hand of the lama and so forth. Those that they place on your head. People say, I have received blessing when they have been placed with some kind of holy objects on their head. But that's not the real blessing. The real blessing is the transformation of mind. And so transformation of the mind, like transforming the mind from being bad to good, right? So that's the one that we want to see. So that's the real blessing. So, but otherwise, if you develop other kind of bad minds, like somebody said, let's do this, and then you go into doing that bad thing, like smoking and so forth, drinking and so forth. So then that's a blessing also. That transforms your mind, right? But a bad blessing.
Example, maybe last night before you go bed, tomorrow I'm going to center. This morning you get up, you change your mind. I have to do something, I have to go to maybe somewhere. Then you change your mind. You are blessing for the Maras. You know, change your mind. Therefore, we have very important some influence. Right now we have come to place here. We have all different nationalities, east, west, north, south, right? We have really created a karma. One day we come together here. Therefore, now I'm looking you guys look at me. We really have created a karma long time. Now we have conditioned here the Kurukulla center. Then you have blessings, Buddha's blessing. You say, oh, I'm going to Kurukulla center. Then we meet. I can Tamshina a little bit explain. You guys listen. We have really created the karma, right? Not just happen then. The condition is Kurukulla center. We have the foreground. Then this condition. We really create the karma. Therefore, we put also a little more influence. Tamshu really told the story. In Buddha Shakyamuni's time, one guy, he lose his whole family. He have nothing left. He's old. Wherever he goes, no one
care.
No one care. Then he meet the Shariputra. He asked Shariputra, I want to become monk. Shariputra, oh, you're too old. You cannot become monk. You don't have the merit to become monk. Also, you have not, benefit. Then he's more sad. He said, oh, for me, even now Buddhism doesn't care me. Like Shariputra doesn't care me. He's very sad. Then he met Buddha. Buddha saw he has the imprint. Getsa. Tawachata Getsa. And then come on, Chotelaya. Joy Kalambuz, Jawale. And the Joy that all the Chuk and the college of the Tita, Tigeta Te Yoanza, and the Janasanji Karo. Tawachi Chores, and Tawachi Sanji Chute, etc. Judgment of the Yoris.
So during that time, you cannot just become a monk. Somebody who gives you the ordination will know whether you have the merit to become a monk or not. Someone pretty clairvoyant, right? So who can say, oh, okay, this person can become monk because if this person becomes monk, that can benefit. Right now, nowadays, we don't have that kind of person who says, oh, maybe it will be beneficial. But logically, of course, it will be beneficial if somebody becomes monk. So therefore, we just allowed to become monk. But during that time, they used to check. So when Shariputra checked on his merit, then with his clairvoyance, and he tried to see, try to go far as possible to see whether he has created any positive karma, and if he has left any positive imprint in his mind to become a monk, and that would be beneficial for him. And so Shariputra wasn't able to see, but then so that's why he said, "Oh, you don't have a merit to become monk, so we can't accept you, to become monk." And then he was very sad and desperate, and he was going to kill himself, commit suicide. And then Buddha appeared in front of him, and then he said, "What happened?" He said, "I want to become monk." Told him all the stories, and said, "Now I don't even have a merit to become monk." And then Buddha said, "No, you have a merit to become monk." And that was long times, many years ago, that when he was born as an insect, and he happened to be on a cow dung, eating a cow dung, and then that time there was a flood, water gushing through, and then that water carried the dung, and then it happened to go in the valley of the village. On the valley, there is a stupa there, and then it happened to go around the stupa. So he was just riding on a cow dung, happened to go around the stupa, no intention at all, right? And he said, "Oh, so you have the imprint, from a positive imprint from that time, and so because of that, then you can become monk like that." So so just like that, even if there is such a great benefit, in such cases like that, then how much benefit will there be? You can imagine, right? If you do it intentionally.
Oh, today, mother, today, coach, Yabo, Chu, Yamlin, Chu, Paroch, Chelambrochi, Joanna. So
So, keeping these kind of benefits in your mind, then you should, strive to do as much practice as possible. So when you see the benefits, when you think about it, when you're, encouraged with these kind of thoughts, then you will not find it difficult to do it either.
배차 샤와이나 당기 조절 두어라기만 되더라고. 배나 미시로 따지 샤와이나 네 자로라 배와 보모까지 거래자가 넣었어. 너도다 전조 셈치 미시라고 시셈나 더 마도 따나 바지 콘도 대와 마이리 전조 대와 녀이래서 얘나 나축 로종도 지나 전조 로종 토이리 나 콘도 로종 마이리 얘나 콘도라 지 전업세거다 만도 된지게 지 리제세가 야보셔한다 가로 셈나 부수셔라 도고 말더라고.
And so just comparison. Not saying bad or good or bad, or not saying somebody's good or somebody's bad, just a comparison. Okay? So like you see the Tibetan folks, old folks, right? The old ladies and guys, who are walking around, the stupa and the temple, carrying a rosary, mala in their hand and counting the mantra all the time, right? So. So maybe they don't have much understanding about the Dharma, but their mind are so devoted to the Dharma. To I don't know, not because of understanding the Dharma, but maybe because of their own cultural thing. Right? Oh, my father used to do that, therefore I have to do that because it's a good thing to do that, and so forth. Right? So because of that, they have such a strong devotion in their mind, and then with that, they go around, and their mind is very happy. Right? They don't have much tensions. And you folks here, maybe you have more understanding about Dharma than they do. The understanding you might have more than they do, and they don't know about these 5 parts. Maybe some of you might do. They have no idea about that, but you do. But but when Geshe was saying, when you bring a device to check the mind, if there's such a device, to check the mind, whose mind is more happy? And he says, sure, their mind will be more happy than yours. But you have more understanding about the Dharma.
그러나 안조 강에 안조 레진을 이치 싫으면 렌데시아 지도 뭐 강에는 되나 고소 안조 배경을 설라 강에 되나 다 수수 레이 야고진 왔다도 레이 생각 맞추 지어 말다 저도 강에로 되나 안조 코치를 와 루속 그 무슨 땅 치는 말아와 쳐서 되는 건 가르치 용도 와서 대 렌데시아 지도 뭐 따라서.
And also there is it's not even if they don't have much understanding about the karma and this is but they have this kind of understanding about, oh, this is my karma. I'm going through this because of my own karma. So there's nothing much really to do about them. Yeah, there may be a condition for that, but the real cause is my own karma. So it's because of my karma I'm going through this. So there's this kind of understanding and believing that that's my karma. And because of that, then you feel okay. So if something happens, oh, that's my karma. So, but here in the West, maybe many people then don't accept that, and they only when they think that when they see the condition, that they think that is the real cause, that's the main cause, and then they get angry towards it, then they try to cause harm and so forth. And this thing, so they get more and more stress and more tension and more suffering, afterwards. So that's the difference, of believing in karma, and not believing in karma.
Okay, lende said the lende yawo tiwana.
So believing in karma itself can resolve many of the problems. And of course, then you can also think about the karma. Think about the reasons, for the karma. Why is it my karma that I have to go through this suffering? So why is it in my karma? And of course, you have to think about the reasons, and then it will make more sense to you.
렌데스나 파야 소드나 가지 징게라베 제단 되고 제사사원 되거든 중국에서 나고 그래서 진짜 됐거든요.
So normally when we say, oh, it's my karma, I'm sick because of my karma, I'm suffering because of my karma, or I'm happy because of my karma, so I'm successful because of my karma. You can say like that, right? But what do you mean by karma? It's action, right? Karma is an action that we have created, which leaves imprint in our mind to experience certain kind of results, depending on what kind of karma is that, right? So if we have created good karma, then that leaves a good imprint in our mind to experience good result or happiness in the future. So when we experience happiness or success, that is the result of the good karma. So therefore we say, oh, it's my karma that I'm going through this.
대 고대야도 가서 레다 빼차차가나 control 대 제치 control 사는 때 동아티 레버레스 제 control 사면은 레버 뭐 동아 용어 말아 왔어 다 빼라고 그래 빼라고.
So the cause, is our karma. The cause is karma, and then we have even, more cause than that. That's our delusion. Our delusion, our delusion and the karma are the cause for our suffering. For our problems. And so, like for example, when you get angry, so because of getting angry, then you do something bad, right? Because of that, then you leave this bad imprint in your mind to experience suffering in the future. So, when we say suffering in the future, it doesn't have to be so far away. It can be immediate future also, like after a moment, So you got angry, you do something, and then later you feel, bad, right? So suffering is sad. So that's the result, the suffering. That suffering came from that the delusion, anger.
Okay? 대내당도 사지가 저랑 그 제도 싸워야 다 내가 저랑 연결을 해서는 납셔서.
So therefore, if Buddha said, because we have created the karma ourselves, right? We have created the cause ourselves. Therefore, we will have to go through the result ourselves.
Okay? Like that, we have to think about result. Not just Buddhism says, it's true or not. It's not true, say goodbye Buddhism. Okay? Sometimes people, study, first they heard Buddhism, they're exciting. Then that didn't change much, then I would like to donate my books for center, They should say goodbye. Because Buddhism is not easy. Because they talk about whatever we do all the time, that's the opposite. Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Therefore, we have difficult to stop that. Therefore, we don't see much results, right? Therefore, slowly, take time, don't rush, don't push too much. If you push too much, you will be bored. Do every time, little bit. Okay? Then study it, also analyze. Analyze.
Mm-hmm. Analyze, yes.
Analyze, okay? You see the monks always debate. They talk about same subject, but they analyze. Because there are a lot of reasons. The scientists, they're checking the, physical things, right? They're checking, they just find. The Buddhism, the monks, they exactly the same science. They just check why. Because. There are a lot of reasons. Otherwise, there's a bodhicitta. They talk about bodhicitta. What you talk about bodhicitta is bodhicitta. But they have, what is bodhicitta? Why we call it bodhicitta? What benefit? How the bodhicitta benefit? Lot, If you more, analyze, investigation, debate with you might, we call like,
So if you have the understanding of the Dharma, then it will be more stable in your mind.
Okay? Like that, I think talk too much. You have any questions? Yes? Yeah, who's first? Yeah, maybe she's first.
You spoke about the renunciation as the first step on the path. Can you talk about the 8 worldly concerns that we have to renounce in order to officially or step onto the path? And how many do we have to renounce in order to, we're not entering a monastery here, so what do we need to do in order to step onto the path fully?
예전 겨 벌었더니 가서 직된 쪽에 가르가르 빵 거랬어. 직된 쪽에 가르랬어.
알레.
직된 쪽에 가르가르 빵 거랬어.
다 내주 제와라. 직대 주제잖아. 안에 소소 미지가 떠가잖아. 가오요와. 소소라 진행바로 라와 가오셔와. 말하나 막가와. 떠가잖아 가와. 마도나 막가와. 안 가로. 아니 년바지 쇼나 가와. 마조나 막가와. 아니 소소 되어셔나 가와. 마조나 막가와. 대라지. 네. 대바 시당 메바 시사로. 대레스. 다때 소소 주벌에 이러. 다때 메워서 그래. 대 메워 마서나 가서 가네 뒤에 완들은 주어 보는 거 말이야.
So the 8 worldly concern, is a thought in our mind that we feel happy when somebody says good thing about us, right? And then we feel unhappy when somebody says bad thing about us. And then we feel happy when we're comfortable, and we feel unhappy when we're not comfortable. We feel, because the turn on the menaga, and then if somebody gives you something, then you feel happy. If somebody don't give you, then you feel unhappy. Like we're expecting, oh, okay, if I do something, maybe they will give me something, And you expect that if they give, then you feel happy. That's not good. And then if they don't give you, then you feel unhappy. If then you're not good. Then you will not feel happy. So that's not good also. So if you don't have that thought, no matter you just okay, I'm just doing this, just to help the other person. It doesn't matter whether they say good or bad, like that. Then you will not have. So in order to be happy, and in order to do the Dharma practice or any kind of practice, well without any stains on it, then you should do it, without any worldly concerns. So without having any kind of those kind of expectations,
배차잖아. 지난게 매독 빼고 소금도 와서 나도 늘 매독 쉬어 소송 와서 나도 늘. 저한테 끊어들어야. 이쪽 끊어들 누라고 말다. 끊어들어야. 나한테 소화나 믿어서 나 야보래 챙기래. 아니 나를 돌았다는 사람이 끊어 대키니잖아. 타고 개반도 오요 말이야.
And so, like for example, when you arrange all these flowers, or you planted flowers in the garden, and it says, "Oh, I'm going to do this. If I do this, maybe people will say good thing to me." With that thought, with the expectation to gain some praise from people, if you do that, then that doesn't become dharma.
아니 대만에 맞지. 다난 주도랑 건데 메토 라모 팽이요래. 아니 메토야 보잖아. 딱 개와 사거리 만보라 펜토거리.
So, but if you did with the thought, so oh, if I arrange this flowers, people will see nice and people will be very happy, and it's going to be a good offering, for the lamas and so forth. If you think like that, then that becomes very, positive thought, and will become dharma.
That time I migi yapos loving on samna. That take good migi yapo malavina, and so so semba joy maris dela no gres.
And so if you think that, oh, okay, I'm going to do this so that people will praise me and will say something like that, then if you would do that thought, then you are expecting something, right? So if then people didn't say anything to you, then just because people didn't say, you feel unhappy.
Right.
I did all this hard work and nobody says anything about good thing about it. You might feel like that, right?
Therefore, they said, don't go the eight worldly.
Eight worldly concerns.
Eight worldly concerns. If you go there, it become to negative karma, but also you feel also they make you feel also unhappy. Therefore, don't be like that. Okay? There's a Gadichana, do you want the Mandua? 먼저 내주셔야 돼. 고아라 단당하던 고려내래서 와. 가령 고아라 단두질로들 내주셔 그랬어.
내중 쳐도 때 제대로 저 방법이 임버라서. So for it to become a dharma, a good dharma practice, it has to be free from the stain of the eight worldly concerns. So if it is, solid with any of the eight worldly concerns, then it doesn't become pure dharma. So there's no way you can have eight worldly concerns and generate renunciation. So in order to generate renunciation, you must overcome the eight worldly concerns.
그러나 직대 주지 되어서나 제가 동아 심바지 제가 말was 코가 탄도일로 아니 소소티 영화도 미 되게도 맹도 되지 단도 되어서 코가 탄도로 제토 말해.
So in order to have the renunciation, you have to have the mind wanting to be free from cyclic existence all the time, by seeing the cyclic existence as the nature of suffering. Whereas when you have eight worldly concerns, you're seeing the happiness in there and wanting that for yourself, the praise, gain and so forth. You're wanting the comfort and so forth. You want that. That's why you're having the eight worldly concerns. So if you have that, then you will not have the renunciation. You will not have the wish, to be free from the cyclic existence. Yeah. Okay.
But that kind of thing slowly. We cannot do 1 day, 1 year, 2 years, not slowly. If you find this is bad, then slowly. Okay? Yeah. Emilio? Okay.
So want to know, because it's a pronunciation in the time, it's basically suffering. You understand suffering. There's no way of it. When I may have about that. There's no question.
No questions.
Okay? Then Bob?
My question was about the path of seeing. You described the mind as the mind that sees that things don't exist from their own side. And I was wondering for the Hare being, because I thought, is it that things appear to that mind as if they exist from their own side, but they know that that's not true? Is that the correct? And so that they know that they don't exist from their own side, even though they still have that appearance. That's my question.
나와다 셔봐서 그러다 거예요. 다 근데 봐봐도 서로 나 남겨놨어. 나와도 남겨올 때 이런 거 신경을 들여봤어.
되리.
예.
Yeah. That's correct. They know. 군도 또 살아왔어.
이만 힘이 빼셔.
군도 또 살아왔어. 지망기 해야 돼. 지망기 봐. 송에다 고 나나다. 그 그게 좀 봐 하고 되게 그러고. 고 나나 그랬어. 대대 지금 봐. 아니 상세 봐봐들로 내 말로 나나 그래서 생각 말했어. 가나 그 내 말로 또 써야 돼.
Yes, that's correct. So to them, it appears as exists from their one side, but they will not have the grasping from their side, and to it as exists from its one side. So it's just like the magician, you know. So magician who has created, a piece of stone into an elephant, and so he has transformed the piece of stone into an elephant. To him, it appears as elephant, but in his mind, he knows it's not elephant. So he will not have that mind thinking it's elephant. He knows because he knows it is just a piece of stone that he lured the mind of the others, to see it as a elephant. So just like that, just like the magician, to him it appears as elephant, but he knows it's not elephant. Just like that, the Arya Bodhisattvas, because they have all for the thing, they don't have that grasping at the things as existing from their one side, but still appears as existing from their one side.
For example, sometimes people call me the female. Are you female? Maybe I'm looking like female. It's also maybe true. I think maybe I'm a little bit looks like female. One time in India, his holiness come to in India, one temple. The monks, that we have to go inside the door. The two or three different doors. The one door, the only go the nuns. Another door go the monks. The monks doors too crowded. We cannot get in. Then I go with the nuns. Nobody said, Therefore, maybe I thought maybe I'm a little bit looks, female. Then, yeah.
Guess so you make a very ugly nun.
An example, maybe I'm wearing the female's cloth, like Tibetan female cloth, maybe I have some nice makeup. Maybe Bob, I'm me. Then I'm going to something to here, then. Other people, he's female. Maybe he female looks like a man. You also looks female there. I'm not female, right? Like that, higher beings. They know everything. They also place things to exist in their own side that they know that's not true. Like that. Did I look female? Okay. I think then maybe, do any question? Yeah, if no question, then have a good day. Thank you. Next week I'm here, maybe I'm not here. I'm going to vacation. Then, Wednesday we have class. I'm going to Thursday. Rinpoche. Oh, where? Oh, Wednesday then Lama Choba. Guru Puja? Oh, then next week. Who will come to the class, we will say next week. Anyway, very happy. See you, my dear brothers, sisters. Do your best, okay? Just whatever say, Geshe said that, don't think it. Just it's true or not. You can, investigation, okay? Then try to be your best. I'm very glad or very, happy to all of you, you have, I always mention, your family, you have to work, no time, busy, but still you try to come to here, listen, my broken dharma, I pick up a little bit here, pick up a little bit here, then you have difficult to understand that, but still you have effort to come here. It's very benefit, Just try to slowly, okay? Don't push too much yourself. Just slowly, step by step, okay? Okay, thank you.
Please turn to page 39 of Kurukulla Center Purple for Thanksgiving Mongol Altar. Sangye Jingdu Migte Uwagi Drokun Namdak Jingla Chirpashu Jetsun Lame Kutse Rabten Ching Nakatrin Le Chok Churgye Padang Losan Tenpe Drun Me Sasungi Droe Munsel Taktu Neg Yuchi Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami. Tsongkhapa's final lam-rim prayer. From my two collections, vast is space, with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose mind's wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all my lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by practicing. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold the Buddha's teachings for a very long time, with my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread or once spread have declined. May I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this graded course to enlightenment completed due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children, and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths, never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path raised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. A short, long life prayer for His Holiness the Dalai Lama. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chen Rezig remain in life till samsara's end. A prayer that spontaneously fulfills all wishes. Tong Yi Ning Je Zung Du Ju Pe Lam Che Che Sel Ze Gong Chen Ten Droi Gun Chag Na Pe Mo Tenzin Gyatso La Sowa Deb So Jedun Lundru Sho. Page 49, the short long life prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Tup So Chang Jin Jam Gun Yelwei Tenzin Kyong Pelwei Kun Zo Dog Podze Chok Sum Porwei Legmon Tudru Pahadag Sok Dul Je Gundu Jab Ten Sho. Pardon me. Dedication, prayer, page 57. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha's state, Precious Supreme Bodhi Mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. Migmate se great chen chen resig, dream yen pe wang por jam pel yang, gang chen ke pe tsug yen Tsongkhapa, o sang rak pe jab la so wan e. Thank you, Geshe.
Hi everyone. Thanks Geshe for wonderful teaching. Again, as Geshe said, this Wednesday we'll have a class at, a Guru Puja, and then we'll figure out, I need to match calendars to get information on what's happening next Sunday at the class, but just watch the calendar or look at the newsletter that'll shortly be coming out. Also, just wanted to say thanks very much. We recently had a fund drive. Thanks very much for everyone's wonderful response to that. It really helps since we have, as always, large bills to pay, and but it's wonderful. Your help is greatly appreciated. Other than that, we are planning a summer picnic. I need to get that information out as well to everyone. And for now, I think that's it.
Thank you. Have a good day. Have